Hello and welcome guys to a new episode on Sport Predictor Fanatic. Today we're going to predict the Eredivisie. Of course, the first of the big six leagues that is going to start. Of course, it's basically a big five with Eredivisie as six. But because I'm from Netherlands, I want to do the Eredivisie as well. Um, yeah, what we're going to do is we're first going to talk a little bit about the transfers that are already made at this moment. Of course, some of them are still going to be made in the month of August. Um, I'm recording this at this moment at 31st of July, so don't blame me if there's already been done some transfers when I upload this. I'm gonna upload this like about a week before the start of the Eredivisie, so we get a fair prediction for me. Um, so yeah, let's get into it. We're first going to talk about transfers, as I said, and we're going to do that on alphabetical order of the team. Of course, just saying, I'm not like a name guru. I don't know all the names. Like he has played one match for that team. I'm not that type of guy, but I know, of course, the most important names normally. Um, so yeah, if I say those have transferred out, I don't mean that only those people have transferred out. I mean those are the names I know that have transferred out. Wait, let's get into it. We're first going to start with the team that is going to be, of course, Ajax. Yeah, Ajax, interesting team, but they haven't bought a player yet. They've got Traore, of course, transfer free. Of course, he is a former Ajax player. Um, and they got like six players back on loan, with three of them being sold already. But the players that have stayed are Univar, of course, last year he was at Twente. Wijndal, he, of course, last season was at Antwerp. And Yuri Baas, he was last season at NEC. Um, I think Ajax has an alright team, but it's like last year, it's not probably not the best. Um, then we've got Almere. Um, I must say, I don't know any of the players that Almere got. All came from transfer free on loan or came back from loan. And I think they only have one really notable name leaving there, which is Peer Koopmeiners, who was there on loan, of course. Um, so yeah, that was Almere. Then we have AZ Alkmaar. AZ hasn't really bought anyone besides Jeroen Zoet, of course, the keeper, and he's coming for free there. And Parrot from Tottenham. Um, Besides that, they have sold some real players, of course, with Pavlidis going to, I think, Benfica, Sugawara, Dani de Wit, and Odgaard, who, of course, was on Bologna on loan and now got bought by them as well. I think they've lost some real big names with those four. Then we've got Feyenoord. Feyenoord got a couple of players with, I think, Linger. They had him on loan last season and now have now bought him. Hachmusha, and Gijs Smal. They also got like Mats Pedersen back from loan and just like Walemark who came from Heerenveen. Um, but they also had to sell some players, just like always with the big clubs in the Netherlands, basically. Of course, last season Mats Wiever played a great season. He's going to Brighton. And of course, Feyenoord also saw Mintek come back from loan, and now got sold to Brighton as well. Um, well, he had to come back from loan to Newcastle, and Newcastle sold him to Brighton, for your info. The next team is Fortuna. Yeah, they've bought a lot of players, and I don't actually know all of them. The biggest name is Mitrovic, but it's not the Mitrovic. So yeah. But they got Brandenhorst from Utrecht. They got him on loan, so they haven't really got him, but they have him for the season. But they've also lost some players. And I think the biggest name that actually left was Cordoba, who actually played great last season for them. But yeah, he left. That's gonna cost them some goals, I think. Um, then we have Go Ahead Eagles. They've bought no person besides Twicht that I well, where I know the name of. And they have also sold some players, but I think Williamson and Rommels being like the biggest names for them. Then we're gonna go to Groningen. I don't know the players they've bought or sold. I think the biggest buy is Oosting and HN Fase, of course, the keeper. And I think their biggest player that is being sold is Maata. I don't know how to say his name. Something like that. And then we've got Heerenveen. They have bought a couple of players. I'm going to be honest, I don't know them. But they've also sold some players with, I think, the most notable names being Van Beek, um, of course, the defender, um, and also like some players were on loan at Heerenveen, but had to come back to their original club with Webster, Walemark, and Brouwers, I think, being those bigger names. Then going to Heracles, um, they've also bought like some unknown names for me. They did sell a lot of players or let them go for free, and I think the biggest name there is Hansson and Willems. Um, and of course Sanko, who had to go back to Stuttgart on loan. Well, he was on loan at Heracles. Then we go to NAC Breda. I think nothing really happened at NAC. Also, like some big unknown names, just don't know them. Then we go to Anise. They have bought Gonzalez, someone who's already with them, but was on loan. They also got Marquez, but he is on loan there. This is someone who has, of course, also been already at Anise in the past. Um, Besides that, I think they have no real names coming in. They also have also sold some players. Of course, Sillissen, I think the biggest name, has left there. Also with players like Silaso, Bastos, Cherry, and Yuri Baas. I think that's like gonna be a real loss for NEC. I'm gonna be honest. Then we have Pack Zwolle. Pack have only got some players transfer free. I think the biggest names they've got are Lutonda and Buitink. They of course also had some players leave with the biggest name I think being Van Polen, Lennart T, Jordi Drive and Buurmeester, but Buurmeester was on loan, so it was due for him to get back. And then we're going to go to PSV. PSV have actually, I think, done all right. They've bought some notable names with Tillman, of course. They had him on loan last season, and now they've bought him. Flamingo, they bought him off Utrecht. They've actually Utrecht has actually done very smart with them, but I'm gonna go back to that later. They've bought Driouch of Excelsior and Dest of Barcelona. Of course, they had him on loan last season as well. But of course, they also had some players leave with Chucky Lozano leave, they had Romario leave, and Patrick Holt. They had also a leave there. Um, and I think RKC has only bought players for RKC, another club, RKC Waalwijk. They've bought some players for free. No really notable names on the list there. Um, but I think the people that left were a little bit more notable, with Lutonda, Fase, and Seuntjes leaving the club. Then we go to Sparta Rotterdam. Sparta has only bought players for free with also no names of notice. Um, and I think the most notable player leaving there is Ramadan. But besides that, nothing really. Then we have Twente. They've bought some players with the names of Lammers, Lataf, Purpose, and Van Horenbeek. Of course, the last one, they had him on loan last season and has now bought them. But they also had some players leave with, of course, Small, Univar, and Boadu as most notable names there. And then we go to Utrecht. They actually have got a lot of players, but also no really notable names except for Horemans maybe. But I think They had some players leaving with Azarkan, Flamingo, and Lammers. And I think those are a little bit of big names for them. But Flamingo, they've done a smart deal with. They had him on loan last season. They bought him for 2.5 million and then sold him for 9 million to PSV. So that was actually really smart. The next team is Willem 2. I'm going to be honest, don't know the players they got and don't know the players that left, except for Oosting, who left to Groningen. But now, after all this transfer talk, we're going to go to the predictions. Okay, so let's start off the actual prediction part. I am gonna start with who I think is going to become the champion of the Eredivisie. And I'm going to be honest, I think it's going to be PSV. Again, I think their squad is just looking the best at the moment. I haven't seen like the preseason, but I don't think preseason actually says something. I think they're just going to become champion, best squad. Did well at transfers. Um, yeah, I just think they're going to become champion. Also, due to the depth of their squad, I think it's really good. And of course, they did well last year with their team. Haven't changed too much, I think. So they're going to do well. And then the second one that I'm putting, who is it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? No, it's gonna be Feyenoord. I'm gonna be honest, it's gonna be the same top two as last year. Feyenoord done well. I don't know if their transfers are exactly the best, but I still think they've got a good squad. They're just gonna become second. I'm gonna be honest. And then third, yeah, this was a tougher choice. I'm thinking it's gonna become Ajax again. Of course, I say them again, but of course they haven't become third last year. I think they became fifth or fourth. But I think the big three are going to be back on top again. Um, and I think in this order. Then I'm going to be putting 4 and 5 in there already. Um, and then we're going to do the relegation ones. Who I'm going to think is going to become fourth is Twente. Of course, did very well last year. I think have done all right in the transfer market. And I think they're just gonna become fourth with that, and then fifth is gonna be the set. Of course, this is the top five of last year. I'm expecting them to be top five this year again. Not sure, but I think so. I think they just have to better squads compared to the other teams here. And then we're gonna go to the relegation. I'm gonna start with the last place. I'm gonna be honest, it's gonna be Willem 2. Willem 2, of course, promoted last season to this, but I still think they're gonna get relegated back down straight away. I don't think they've done the best business. I think they're not gonna do well, but they can may surprise me. You never know. Then it's 17. I have RKC. I think they're gonna be above Willem 2, but they're gonna get relegated as well. Um, but of course, we'll see. We'll see. And normally they play fun football, but I think they've lost some of the players, like AJ Vase, Lutonda, who have been quite impactful for them in last season. So I think it wasn't the best transfer business for them. But you never know. Sometimes it even helps. And then the one that's going to be playing playoff for relegation is going to be NAC Breda, of course, also promoted last season. Um, so yeah, I think this is going to be the bottom three. Then we're going to go back to the top eight. I actually think that this team is going to do really well. I think they're going to become sixth. Um, did it well last season, of course. I think just because of that, they're already there. The next team that I'm going to put there is NEC. I think they haven't done the best transfer business, but they played great last season, and I think they're gonna do okay again. I think they need to buy a little more players, but I think they will do. I'm looking at become seventh, and then at eighth I have Utrecht. I actually think they're doing great business. I think Utrecht also just belongs to the top eight, just bigger club. I think, and yeah, I think that at least concludes the top eight. And then we're gonna go to pace number nine. We have Sparta. Yeah, I think they're just below there, but they did all right last season, I think. And I think they're just gonna do all right again. Um, but you never know. Like it's really hard. I think in Eredivisie, like the sub, like everything behind place five to I think 16 last season was like so freaking close. Like two more matches losing or winning could have made such a difference the whole season. So yeah, I'm expecting Heerenveen to go there. Then I'm expecting to go Pack Zwolle and Fortuna Sittard to close out the top 12. I think these teams are going to be pretty fast clear like of the relegation. And now the 13 to 15, and these teams I think that are going to just avoid relegation, but it's going to be like such a freaking battle. Um, First, I'm gonna put Heracles. I think they're the better footballing team out of this, but it's gonna be really hard for them. I'm expecting it to be hard for them. Then I've got Almere. They did all right last season, but I think it's not. It's just not the best. It just isn't. And then I've got FC Groningen. They've got also just promoted again, but I think they're gonna stay up. I think they're going to do well enough to be there. And this is actually going to be my prediction. Yeah, please let me know in the comments what you think. I'm going to do one of the Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga, Liga um, as well. So make sure you check that out as well. But please let me know what you think. Where am I completely wrong about? Of course, at the end of the season, I will do a review of my results. So yeah, we're gonna see. I think I'm gonna do well. But for now, I wanna thank you all for watching. Please have a good day, and I'll see you.